Okay, let's just get right into it. This is probably the biggest question on every developer's mind right now. With AI getting ridiculously good at writing code, what does that mean for us? For our jobs? Are we all about to be replaced by a robot? We're going to cut through all the noise, look at what's actually happening, and figure out what the future of your career really looks like. So to get a sense of just how big this shift is, let's start with a number that'll pretty much stop you in your tracks. 95%. A staff engineer at a huge US fintech company said that last month, 95% of his pull requests, his code submissions, were written entirely by AI. We're not talking about AI helping him. We're talking about an AI-first workflow.
And get this, when someone asked him if this new way of working was transformative, he said, no, it's not transformative. It is an absolute game changer. That's a huge statement, right? It takes us from just a wild statistic to the ground-level reality of how work is already changing, like right now.
So when an engineer says something is a game changer, what does that actually look like, in the real world? Let's stop talking in the abstract and look at a couple of examples that show just how insanely powerful these tools are. Okay, so picture this. You're working on a pretty standard blog app. You've got your Python backend, a TypeScript frontend, a database, the usual stuff. You try to run a search and boom, you get an error. We've all been there. The old way meant spending, hours maybe, digging through logs. The new way, well, it's a little different.
So here's the crazy part. The developer doesn't write a single line of code to fix this thing. They just give the AI some context. They literally feed it a screenshot of the error message. And instantly, the AI figures out the problem. Oh, it's a parameter mismatch, and spits out the exact code to fix it. The human's job? Just look it over and say, yep, that's right. One click, and the bug is gone. Just gone. But wait, it gets even bigger. Bug fixes are one thing, but what about building a brand new feature from scratch? Well, in another demo, a developer just used his voice. He asked the AI to add a comments section to a blog post, and the AI just did it. It planned the whole thing, created the database models, wrote the back-end code, built the front-end UI. We're talking over 500 lines of code across the entire stack, all from one sentence spoken out loud.
Now, seeing that can be, kind of terrifying. Your immediate thought might be, if a machine can do all that, what in the world is left for me to do? But this is where it gets really interesting and a little counterintuitive. We've actually got to look at an old economic idea to understand why that fear might be completely backward.
And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? If AI can do all the heavy lifting, then logically, companies will need fewer developers. It makes sense on the surface. But history tells us that the exact opposite is probably going to happen.
Yeah, it's all because of this thing called Jevons paradox. It's this wild idea that says when technology makes something way more efficient, we don't end up using less of it. We actually end up using more. The classic example is cars. You'd think that as cars got more fuel efficient, we'd use less gas overall, right? Nope. People just started driving more road trips, longer commutes, and total gas consumption went up.
And this is exactly what's about to happen with software. Think about it. When AI makes writing code incredibly cheap and fast, the barrier to building things just evaporates. All those companies that couldn't afford a big digital project, now they can. Those ancient legacy systems that were too expensive to touch, now they can be rebuilt. The world isn't going to want less software. The demand for code is going to absolutely explode.
Okay, so if the world wants more code, but the AI is the one tapping away at the keyboard, where does that leave us? Well, our job doesn't go away, it just gets a promotion. We stop being the typists and we become the architects. We become the orchestrators. Our role shifts from being the person who writes the code to the person who provides the vision. You are the one who gives the AI all the critical context that it could never figure out on its own. Things like what the business actually needs, the messy details of that old legacy system, the architectural rules it has to follow. And, most importantly, you're the one who validates that the final product actually solves a real human problem.
This new, more important role really deserves a new name. We have to stop thinking of ourselves as just coders or even software developers. It's time to meet the builder, a title that really captures this more strategic, high-level job.
And this little comparison makes the change so clear. The code writer of yesterday was focused on the how, the syntax, the algorithms, the implementation details. But the builder of tomorrow, they're focused on the what and the why. Their value isn't just about writing perfect code, it's about delivering real business results.
So, what's in a builder's toolkit? Well, have a look.
Yeah, technical orchestration is still the biggest piece of the pie, but look at everything else. Product vision, deep knowledge of your specific industry, and those crucial soft skills like communication and strategy. Just writing code becomes one tool in a much, much bigger toolbox.
All right, now it is super easy to get swept up in all this excitement, but let's take a quick pause, because history has taught us to be a little skeptical of predictions about super fast, total automation.
I mean, just look at self-driving cars. Back in 2013, Elon Musk said that within 3 years, 90% of driving would be fully automated. Well, here we are more than a decade later, and we are nowhere close to that. These huge revolutionary changes, they almost always take way, way longer than the experts predict.
And that right there is the key point of all this. The human is not getting kicked out of the loop. Our role is changing, for sure. It's evolving into something more strategic, but it is not disappearing. We're still needed to be that essential bridge between what a human wants and what a machine can do.
So, knowing all that, how do you actually prepare? What are the real things you can start doing like today to make sure you don't just survive this shift, but actually thrive in it?
Here it is. This is basically your roadmap to becoming a builder. First, get really, really good at using these AI tools. Learn to talk to them, to give them the right context to get amazing results. Second, become an expert in your industry, not just in your code. And finally, work on your people skills, communication, strategy. The big goal here is to change your mindset. Stop thinking about just writing code and start thinking about solving real business problems.
Look, in the end, this isn't about humans competing against AI. It's about humans who know how to use AI beating the humans who don't. The code of the future isn't just going to write itself. It needs a guide. It needs an architect. It needs a builder. So the only real question left is, will it be you?